Yo, we're back again with another episode for Sniper Story, and guys, we're about to hit 30,000 subscribers on YouTube, so do me a favor right now, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're less than 500 subscribers away from the big 30K mark, so right now, guys, if you're not logged in, log on to your YouTube account and subscribe to the channel. And if you don't have an account, then make one, log in, subscribe, and then subscribe to everybody else on YouTube. And in today's episode, I took a lot of L's, and when I say a lot of L's, I mean like a lot more L's than I take on average on sniping. And I did still end up getting some W's, but I think in this episode I took more L's than W's, so you're gonna be seeing that later on in the episode. But before we get started, obviously, you know, subscribe, leave a like on the video, and right now we do have one new challenge. In the last episode, I was really hoping that 2K would give us more challenges in the game, you know, even with 2K17, you know, coming to an end and 2K18 around the corner. It's good to see that 2K actually gave us a new challenge, so they didn't give us any new packs, but, you know, hopefully they still, you know, at least give us something later on. We do currently have a VC sale, and also the playoff packs are expiring like very soon. I think we have like less than 1 day left on those packs, so hopefully we get some new ones. But the new challenge is the free agent moment challenge. You do need 3 free agent players, which is, you know, just those Onyx players that you get throughout the year. If you guys recall, they did give us a free agent Iggy in the beginning of the year, so you should have at least one, and then the other 2, I think you get them through like locker codes. Hopefully you have them. If you don't, I don't think you'll be able to do this challenge, but if you do have them, do the challenge, get yourself some nice MT, and, you know, hopefully we get some new ones. But that right there is the intro. Once again, guys, thank you so much for getting us to, well, we're not at 30K right now, but, you know, I'm pretty sure after this video, you guys are going to be smashing that sub button, so we're going to be getting closer and closer. So thank you guys so much for almost getting to 30,000. And without further ado, let's get right into it with episode 47 of Sniper Story. So here we go with the first L in the video, which is, you know, one of the many L's that you're going to be seeing in this episode right here. But I'm scrolling all the way to the right, and I see a diamond LeBron James, which isn't a snipe anymore, but I go for that Iggy, that's not Iggy, that's Embiid, for 95,000 MT, and then there's a diamond Kareem on the left side, and I end up missing it. Embiid right now is no longer a snipe, even though I have seen him sell for like 120 sometimes, but right now he's going for about like 100,000 buy now. I did still end up getting it for 95,000 MT, because usually you can still make some profit. Like, even if I sell it for 110, I'm still walking away with a little bit of profit, but I still can't believe that I missed that diamond Kareem on the far left, man. Like, when I was refreshing, if you slow it down, you can tell that there was a diamond Kareem right there, but I didn't even notice it. I did end up seeing LeBron and Embiid, and then I went for Embiid, and then by then it was already too late for Kareem. And LeBron, I used to miss that card all the time. Like, comment down below right now, guys, what are some diamonds that you miss a lot in the auction house? For me, that player is the diamond LeBron James. For some reason, I was never able to get that one consistently. Like, every time I saw him, I would always miss it 100%. And LeBron used to be a really good snipe back then, but nowadays, you know, with the new dynamic duos, with the market crash, and with the VC sale, like, everything is dropping once again. Even though some players are starting to go back up in price, you guys should really look into the auction house right now, because a lot of players are going up in price. Some are still dropping, but a majority of them are going back up in price. But I did still end up taking a big L right here, man, missing diamond Kareem for 100,000 MT. And then right here, I am trying to get some cheap diamonds. If you guys don't know, you can also get a lot of good deals by just bid sniping. And what I mean by bid sniping is that you bid at the final second. Make sure that you bid on a card first, that way you have this screen right here. And then that way you can actually time it perfectly, because if you bid at the last second in the auction house, sometimes the auctions do end up ending like 30 seconds earlier. And that's exactly what I did with Big Z right here. Even though I did bid a little bit earlier, I did bid with like 20 seconds left. I bid 30,000 MT because this card right now in the auction is going for about like 40,000 MT, so I wanted to get a really good deal for him. And if you guys have no idea why I need this card, then I'm going to leave a link in the description below. I did make a video on it. It's pretty much for the tournament KOK. If you guys don't know what that is, I will be leaving a link in the description below. Go check that out if you haven't already. It's pretty much an all-time tournament, and I need all these Cavalier players to build my Cavalier team. And I do end up winning it for 30,000 MC, which is a really good deal because, again, he was going for about like 40,000 MT, so I pretty much saved 10,000 MT, which is almost as good as getting a snipe. And then I just redeemed my Big Z. I put him into the lineup, and the Cavalier team right now is looking pretty good. We got Darren Williams, LeBron, Kyrie, Jefferson, and now Big Z. And then I go into the auction house looking for a very cheap James Jones, the Ruby that comes with more Hall of Fame badges than the Pink Diamond Kobe, which, by the way, I'm still triggered about because that makes no sense. How does a Ruby have 4 Hall of Fame badges when the Pink Diamond Collection Reward only has 2?
How, Sway?
But I already complained about that too much. I do end up getting a James Jones right here for 1,800 MT, and then I go add it into the collection. And then right here, I don't think this has ever happened to me before, but I'm refreshing, and then I see an Allen Iverson, and then I buy it, and I'm loading, and it's loading, and it's still loading, and it's still loading, and it's still loading, and we're loading, and we're loading, and it takes forever to load. And this Allen Iverson right now is still going for about like 130 to like 140,000 in the auction house, and I'm just loading, and it's lagging, and I'm waiting, and I'm trying to get the snipe, and this has never happened to me once. And I've been sniping since the beginning of 2K17, and we're still loading and loading, and then it tells me that there's a problem with my connection, and then I just end up missing them. Like, there was actually 2 Allen Iversons in that single refresh right there, and I didn't even get one. I don't know if that's ever happened to you guys, but I did end up getting that error. That's the first time that I've ever gotten that error with, you know, I've been sniping since 2K17 released, so I have no idea what happened right there. If it's ever happened to you guys, let me know down in the comments below, but that is the first time that it's ever happened to me. And then right here, I'm just checking the auction house. I'm checking how much Allen Iverson's going for, and he's going for about like 129,000 MT, and I could have made just a little bit of MT. Like, I probably could have gotten both of them in that single refresh right there, but instead I ended up getting hit with that server cheese, and for some reason the servers are just getting worse and worse every single year, and they ended up costing me a nice little Allen Iverson snipe. So, you know, hopefully next year for 2K18 we actually have some good ones, but we'll see what happens. With 2K, you never truly know, so we'll see in 2K18 how the servers are. And just when you thought it couldn't get worse, I end up refreshing right here. I'm hitting my diamond filter, and then it's loading, and then it loads. I go all the way to the right, and there's a diamond Allen Iverson, which I don't even buy because at that point, like, the market was crashing even more, so I didn't think it was a snipe. And then by the time I went to go buy it, it was already gone. So that one right there is on me, not on 2K. I take full responsibility. And the reason that I didn't buy that really fast was because during that time, like, I checked Allen Iverson the next day, and he was going for about like 100,000 MT, so I didn't even bother getting it. But then I realized that I could still make some MT, and then by then it was already gone. So I ended up missing another Allen Iverson. And like I said in the beginning of the episode, like, this episode right here has the most L's I've ever taken in sniping in 2K17. But then right here, we finally have some good news. Now, I'm looking for a Diamond Sean Kemp because I do need this for my all-time Cavalier team. So I'm looking for a cheap one, and I end up looking through the auction house, and the cheapest one is like 55,000 MT. Like, the prices are starting to go back up in the auction house, and right now I don't have that much MT, so I didn't even bother getting it. I'm trying to get it for like 40,000 or below. And then I did end up checking Thon Maker because I did end up selling Thon Maker because he was going for about like 20,000, 25,000, and I really needed MT for my all-time team, so I sold him. And then I was still trying to refresh to see if I find a cheap one, and then I see one for 900 MT, and this card right here is selling for over 20,000 in the auction house. So that right there is almost as good as getting a small little diamond slab, and I was really surprised that he was just chilling there for 900 MT, so I ended up getting it. And that actually really helps out because, again, I did end up selling all the cards that I had because I needed to get as much MT as I could for, you know, the all-time Cavalier team, so I sold everybody I had, and luckily I found a Thon Maker for 900 MT instead of like 20,000. And then right here I am looking for a Ruby Camilla because for some reason 2K didn't give us like an amethyst or a diamond for the final, so that was really surprising. But I'm just looking for a cheap one right here, and if you do look for cards like right after the refresh, you always find something for super cheap, and I did end up finding a Ruby Camilla for 2,000 MT right here. And my biggest tip for those that want to go out there in the auction house and buy some players for like super cheap, always check the auction house right after the market refreshes. I've said this in so many videos, like every single time you're trying to get something cheap, you always want to check the auction house after it refreshes because everybody ends up putting up, you know, diamonds, rubies, amethyst for like super cheap, a lot cheaper than usual. And that's exactly what I did with this Ruby Kevin Love. And then I ended up checking his badges, and somebody ended up giving him like some of the worst badges ever. Like, he has Pick and Roll Maestro and Pig Dodger. Like, really, Pig Dodger on a power forward? I don't know what people are thinking when they badge players out, but that really sucked that, you know, I ended up getting that with Pick and Roll Maestro. But I can still sell it for about like 5,000, 6,000 MT, so I still make profit on that player right there. And then I'll eventually go buy one for, you know, like under 3,000 MT again. So that right there just continues the theme of just taking L's in this episode, because for some reason I just took L after L after L, and then I took a W, and then another L, and then another L, and then this one right here with those badges. Which actually brings up a good point. Hopefully next year for 2K18 they actually give us like the option to, you know, overwrite or just exchange badges. That way, like, I don't have to worry about, you know, buying a player that has Pig and Roll Maestro as a center or like Pig Dodger as a center. And I feel like that would be really helpful because there's a lot of times that people buy diamonds, and then after they buy them, they find out that they have like some useless badges that they don't need. So hopefully they do that for 2K18. But again, we'll see what happens with 2K. I never really want to get too excited for the next 2K because they always let us down. But hopefully 2K18 is going to be really good. And we only have 2 more months to go until 2K18 comes out. So hopefully, I think it's 2 months, right? It comes out in September. We're almost in July. So hopefully, I'm hoping that 2K18 is a lot better than 2K17. I did really enjoy the content for 2K17. Like the challenges, the packs, the players, everything was really good. Except for the gameplay. The gameplay for 2K17 was just absolutely trash. So hopefully 2K18 is a lot better, but we'll see what happens. But that right there is going to be the episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed me taking a bunch of L's. Usually I just show you guys me getting W's. I really don't take that many L's because I either don't see a snipe or I just don't go for it. So You know, this episode I gave you guys a lot of L's. I don't even know how many L's I took, but I took way more than, you know, than my average. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. If you did, make sure to smash the like button for me. Make sure you also sub to the channel. We're getting closer and closer to 30,000 subscribers. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.